Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. After considering Nick's recent visit to Brooke, Taylor will probably see a fantastic opportunity. Although Ridge denies being envious, it is clear that he believes Brooke should avoid Nick at all costs. Despite her apparent skepticism, Taylor will continue to hold out hope that Nick would be able to divert Brooke's attention and prevent her from following Ridge. In light of it, it appears like Taylor will encourage Brooke to return to Nick. In an attempt to get Brooke to approach Nick and retain Ridge for herself, Taylor plays matchmaking. Taylor can portray this as Brooke's opportunity to move on with someone else who holds great significance for her. Taylor can imply that Nick entered Brooke's life at the ideal moment and remind her that Ridge has also moved on. Ridge came in on her with Nick, and Brooke noticed how she reacted. Brooke has reason to believe that Ridge's jealousy could be a sign that he secretly wants her back. Brooke might also bring up that option to Taylor, which would start a new feud between them. In the end, Brooke and Taylor will argue about both Ridge and Nick. Given that Brooke would interpret Ridge's protectiveness as an indication that he still wants her, it appears that Taylor's attempt to play Cupid will fail. In this case, Brooke is correct because we are certain that Ridge will be pursuing her once more before the end of July. Up to that point, Daphne, who turned Steffi down, tried to win her back. Will Daphne back down or alter her mind about returning to LA? Daphne will be thinking about a number of things. When Steffi emphasized the success of the fragrance line, a business meeting at Forrester Creations took an unexpected turn. Steffi insisted on returning Daphne to Los Angeles and demanded an expansion. Hope attempted to dissuade Steffi from the notion, but Steffi pretended that Hope's ring would make it obvious to Daphne who Carter had selected. Hope was also soothed by Carter, who eventually spoke with her in private. Since Carter was committed to Hope and misdoubted that Daphne would indeed return, he assured her that she had nothing to worry about. Hope still sounded concerned about Daphne coming back for Carter and had a worried expression as they hugged. Steffi called Daphne, so B&B suckers saw both ends of their phone discussion. After Steffi sang Daphne's praises over the new men's cologne she'd come up with, she refocused out that they had a PR problem. Steffi pushed Daphne to return to LA and help them launch the new scent, but Daphne suggested the scent would vend itself. When Steffi kept pushing, Daphne jokingly asked if this was blackmail. Steffi denied that, but she played up how she wanted her friend back and felt this would be good news from a business viewpoint. There was some talk about Carter and his engagement to Hope, which Daphne sounded pouty about. In the end, Daphne turned down Steffi's request and suggested she could suppose about Carter. Carter indeed rated Daphne's studies latterly as she flashed through so numerous close moments they had together. At Forrester Manse, Ridge admitted to Taylor that Nick was back and that he'd caught his half-family talking to Brooke. Since Ridge abominated Nick like he abominated Bill, Taylor easily allowed. Brooke was at the center of those feuds. Ridge denied that and suggested he didn't like them because they were egomaniacs. Although Ridge was entitled to his opinion, Taylor felt Brooke was entitled to her own and that she could see Nick, indeed if that's not what Ridge wanted. Brooke was a grown woman who could take care of herself, so Taylor allowed. Ridge should accept it if they were chancing their way back to each other. Ridge claimed that's not what was passing, but Taylor prompted him to consider the possibility that it was. After Ridge claimed he'd be fine if that's what Brooke wanted, he claimed he didn't like Nick and no way would. Ridge pulled Taylor into an grasp, but she looked nervous over his covetousness despite his denial of it. At Forrester office, Brooke gave Katie updates on Nick's visit and how it may have given Ridge a drive grounded on his response. Katie wondered if Brooke allowed. Ridge was jealous and asked questions about how it all went down. Brooke admitted that after Nick left, Ridge told her to stay down from him. Katie didn't suppose it was fair for Brooke to have to stay down from Nick when Ridge was back together with Taylor. Although Brooke conceded the possibility that perhaps Ridge was just being defensive, Katie picked up on what she was allowing and agreed that perhaps he was jealous. Effects will remain complicated in Brooke's love life. Taylor and Ridge defying the verity about their relationship and Brooke's moping presence. Plus, Nick wastes absolutely no time in seeing Brooke. as the fallout from once opinions continues to shape the future of these iconic characters. Brooke lately told Hope that her fortune was Ridge. Always and ever. Brooke believed that she and Ridge would find their way back to each other. Ridge is with Taylor right now. Clearly, Eric tried to push his son and Brooke back together during the recent fashion show, but Ridge remained loyal. He was erecting his life with Taylor. Taylor doesn't love that Brooke is still around, trying to move Ridge to reunite with her. She's tried to tell Brooke to back off, but it hasn't worked. With Nick's return, Brooke might soon find herself interested in notoriety differently. As much as he says he's with Taylor, Ridge presumably wouldn't appreciate Nick being back in Los Angeles, and the pressure between the three is bound to escalate. Feelings will really run high as they all attempt to peacefully navigate the multiple complications of their integrated histories. Dylan made a terrible error in judgment that left numerous suckers crying at their defenses. Who just invites an arbitrary woman off the sand to help educate little kiddies without any kind of exploration or background check? That's exactly what happened when Ms. Dylan asked Luna to come work with the children as a guest artist. Luna's origami is her ticket to getting near to Hayes at his summer art program. Dylan, or just Dylan since that's how she introduced herself to fellow adult Luna, obviously doesn't keep up with the news. Still, Dylan would have seen all the media content on felonious Luna and her crazy amnesty story, if she did. Dylan thinks Sunshine is just this sweet artsy juvenile who wants to partake her gift with the art class youngsters. We've been watching Luna reel Dylan into a parlous web that can only spell disaster. Hayes might profit from a foreigner peril assignment as well, especially considering how upset Steffi and Finn are about the trouble Luna poses. At the Precipice House everyone seems fine with Hayes accepting a gift from a nice lady without any significant questions about it. Now thanks to Ms. Dylan, her classroom is about to give a warm hello to a killer. With all this in mind, we've to wonder how effects will turn out for Dylan in the end. Since Dylan is being so susceptible and happens to be a veritably expendable character, she could join Luna's victim list. Tom and Hollis formerly faced a grim fate because of Luna, so could Dylan face one, too? Still, Luna just might get relief of her altogether, if Dylan figures out who Sunshine really is and threatens her plan. Luna's proven that she wouldn't let anything or anyone stand in her way, so she could exclude Dylan permanently if necessary. This story appears to be erecting to Hayes hijacking, so Dylan may be a goner if she tries to stop Luna from stealing him. Dylan's poor judgment is going to put all the children at threat, so she might pay the price with her own life sooner or laterally. Luna will make some updates to her scheme as this hot plot gets hotter. The return of Nick, a fresh launch for Hayes' summer, and Taylor calling out Eric. At the main office, Brooke lamented to Ridge that she missed seeing him outside the office. Why, oh why, wouldn't he come home where he belongs? The house is too empty without him and she needs someone to bring her coffee in the morning. Can't be that Joe again? Sorry, Logan, that's a no-go. Ridge formally again explained he's with Taylor now. She's the woman who makes him happy. At Forrester Manse, Eric and Taylor had a heart-to-heart after he participated his joy in having her around. Mi casa es su casa and all that. Taylor loved being so welcome but, she called him out on believing Ridge belongs with Brooke. Stuck between a gemstone and a hard place, Eric had no choice but to admit it. Of course, he also threw in how much he likes Taylor, too. Ridge came home and Taylor let him know about her talk with his pater. She also launched into Ridge's passions for Brooke. Is he still stewing for her, especially after the fashion show? Ridge shut that down. No, he's not holding out stopgap for a reunion with his partner. He loves Taylor and only Taylor. Everything additional is just for work and appearances and deals. No funny business going on around then. Not presently. Ridge no sooner left than Brooke slipped into some lingerie to respect herself. She was caught in the act, but not by the man she anticipated. Rather, when she turned around it was Nick who was philandering after her. He claimed he was just rolling through Los Angeles and wanted to stop in to say hello. They talked about Jack and Brooke touted Nick's influence on their son doing so well for himself. The coming content of discussion was Brooke's single status. Nick was in the circle about Ridge being back with Taylor. Brooke admitted she wasn't excited by that twist. Nick suggested the rift was because of the achievement and Brooke let him know he's right. Nick couldn't believe Brooke was still holding on to that man. He's hurt her far too important and far too frequently. Brooke deserves better. She deserves a man who can captain his own boat. With that, he trilled her and reminded about how good they were together. Also, he kissed her and of course, Brooke couldn't repel and kissed him right back. Finn and Steffi checked in with Liam, and not just about his health. They thanked him for helping set up the Spencer Sandhouse as a day camp since the backfires destroyed the kiddies' academy. Hayes was so happy he blessed Liam one of his robot toys and asked Liam to come on for his first day at his new academy. Hayes was easily having the time of his life. When the schoolteacher took the kiddies to the sand, Liam disregarded about his own daughters and wanting the world for them. He also had a mild fear attack about Looney Luna and how he wouldn't be around to cover his family for much longer. Latterly, when Hayes came back, Liam pulled Finn away and made him promise to cover them all when he's gone. Little did everyone know that a person with a camera was stalking outdoors and taking filmland through the windows. That person, Luna. She was keeping a veritably close eye on her little family and her evil stepmama.